Hello guys and welcome to my new video. So today I decided to have a look at how good a Resto Druid so far in Tomb of Sargeras, normal, heroic, mythic. Fun fact, this is actually my first scheduled video, so technically I am somewhere in Bulgaria right now. I guess that might be a little bit interesting. But let's continue with the video. I decided to do a video about Resto Druid viability because in a lot of my streams I get a lot of people coming to me and telling me, MadSkillz, my HPS is not the same, I'm falling behind from my Mistweaver, from my Priest, we're 5 healing heroic content, I am bottom of the meters, I might be dropped, this happened. I actually get this quite a lot. And over the period of testing, because I actually end up doing normal Tomb of Sargeras, heroic Tomb of Sargeras, and mythic Tomb of Sargeras. At the moment I am 5 out of 9, so around halfway through it, we're getting into the hard bosses. So from my personal experience, because the Resto Druids got a nerf in 7.2, 16% in cultivation, 4% overall nerf, tier 20 is harder to manage. If you are overhealing content, it is way more noticeable towards Resto Druid output. So if you have 4 healers for a 15-man raid, if you have let's say 4 holy priests can snipe, like Mistweavers can snipe better. I mean every class almost can snipe your heals, and by snipe I mean heal the target faster than you. At the end of the day, the top heals for Restoration Druid is Rejuvenation. With tier 24 set, a second top heal will probably be among Wild Growth and Efflorescence. Efflorescence can actually become second heal, very close to Rejuvenation depending on how you use it with tier 20. Efflorescence heals over time, Rejuvenation heals over time. Wild Growth has a initial hit, but then it heals over time. So technically, when there's not enough damage coming out, every other healer can heal the target before you. So if you're in a guild that's maybe not really super organized, which is probably 99% of the guilds out there, including our guild, there's going to be people who are going to snipe you. This is really evident in 7.25. In 7.2, before the nerfs, Resto Druids could do these meme specs where they had amazing amount of healing. Tier 19 was one of the best healing sets out there. Everyone else, you could snipe others because your Rejuvenation was just healing so much. You were just overpowered basically. A Resto Druid should never be able to snipe other people, and this was happening in 7.2. 7.25, you cannot do that. If you're overhealing, if you're doing heroic content with 5 healers in a 20-man raid, you will be most likely bottom of the meters unless you actually really try to pre-hot. The only way to actually battle sniping is to pre-hot people before damage comes in. This leads maybe to mana problems if you don't manage it properly. This means you need to innervate early, means you have to have multiple innervates, means you have to have Blessing of Wisdoms, means you might have to have external innervates from your balanced druids. If you don't pre-hot, if you actually just rejuvenate when people take damage, and you're overhealing content, or you're with healing classes that are easily snipe masters, you will be bottom of the meters. Your overhealing will be 40 to 50%. But the good news, even though you're bottom of the meters, let's say in heroic, or bottom of the meters in normal, you drop a healer, you tell a healer to go DPS, or you go to mythic content where you're really we need more DPS for this boss. We're gonna have to drop a healer, we're gonna have to go with 4 healers, we might have to go with 3 healers, and things like that. And you'll see when people are taking damage, your deep-rooted golden trait kicks in when people are below 35% HP, your mastery kicks in, your cultivation, which adds an additional hot on top of your target when they go below 60%. A good rule of thumb is that if your cultivation does around 2% of your healing, around 2%, which is pretty abysmal, if it does 2%, it means that you're overhealing content. It means that there is not enough damage coming out. Cultivation, on a good scenario, should be around 5%. You'll be if it does around 5%, and it's not, when you look into cultivation, you're not looking into pure healing for cultivation. You're looking into the hot that it applies when a person goes below 60%. that builds up towards your master, because that's an additional hot on that person, that's an additional around 20% healing on that person. So 5% is around a good number to keep running cultivation. If it's below like 2%, you're kind of like, I'm overhealing too much. I'm gonna have to, like, the only way I can actually be looking good on meters is I'm gonna have to pre-hot really early and like time my wild growth. Like, you literally can see a damage coming in. If you have some weak cores that tells you there's going to be that damage in about 1 second, you have to cast wild growth. You have to cast wild growth when damage is coming at 1 second, because wild growth, for me at least at my haste levels, is around 1.2 seconds. So my wild growth is going to hit when the damage hits. And that's the only way to actually... This is kind of like teaching how to snipe back. But why am I saying this? Because in a lot of heroic guilds, raid leaders will not look at the amount of healers. They will look at the healer output, and they will say a Resto Druid is bottom, and they will bench a Resto Druid just because of that. I promise you this, Resto Druid's in a good spot where it matters. When you're going to be doing that hard content with less healers, people are going to drop low. Look at the... like. I have a Warcraft log open here that kind of shows where Resto Druids are, which they're below Holy Priest and Discipline Priest. But you have to look at the world first kills and things like that. If you look at the real high level progression guilds, they brought at least one Resto Druid, on some cases 2 or 3 Resto Druids on certain fights, because they know when damage is there, Resto Druids are going to be one of the best healers. One of the best healers when the damage is there. So don't feel down when you're overhealing content. Don't feel like useless, like you're not contributing anything. Just wait. Just wait when there is enough damage, because that's when you're going to shine, and that's when it really matters. If you really think about it, that's when it really matters. So I hope this really kind of helped out the people who are feeling kind of useless because they're at bottom of the meters, or they're not doing what they used to be able to do. Resto Druids are still in a very good position. You just need to find the right content for you. I hope this video kind of helps you to reassure that Resto Druids is still doing well. You just need the content. And believe me, in Tomb of Sargeras there's a lot of content, especially for Mythic. Like, I would really love for those Resto Druids who are having a hard time, bottom of the meters, to try out Mythic and see how Resto Druids are doing. Because I would promise you they're going to be doing better when the damage is there. Thank you for watching this little, this little discussion video, and I'll see you in my next guide.